All right, it's Monday. Welcome to Roam the Region. Suzanne and I are here today. We have exciting news. It's
Yes.
phase one tomorrow. We're very excited about that
We needed the drums again.
I know. Tomorrow I'm home, so maybe tomorrow I can bring the drums back out. But phase one does start tomorrow, Tuesday, and that is for construction, for agricultural aspects, forestry, fishing, and hunting, retail, which is limited to curbside or in-store pickup or drop-off, manufacturing, and wholesale trade. So what we had just put out on our social media, and it'll be in our newsletter today, is if your industry is in part of phase one, if it's in any of those that I just mentioned, go to the state website for guidance. And on that guidance, there's templates to have your plan in place. You need to have a plan in place for your employees, for those that are coming in, just how you're going to conduct business and do that. And those templates are available online. If you're a member of ours, they will be in your newsletter today. If you're on our social media, the link is on all of our avenues too. So that is very exciting news. Phase one begins tomorrow, Tuesday. And again, that is for construction, agriculture, forestry, fishing, and hunting. Retail limited to curbside or in-store pickup or drop-off, manufacturing and wholesale trade. So again, those guidelines are on the New York State's website. There'll be a link to our newsletter. We'll have all that info too. So that's exciting news. That is exciting news, because just before we started, we said that's one step closer to phase two, so we can fix these little things coming up.
I can't wait for phase two. I'm going to be a whole new broadcast girl.
we need our grays covered. And also this morning, I had the opportunity to be on a phone call with the Buffalo Niagara Partnership. Dottie Gallagher from there, they invited me on, and I was able to ask Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul some questions, as were other leaders from the area. And that was really a great segment. Lieutenant Governor Hochul was very, very informative on questions that the business community have. Josh Maloney was actually on that phone call too, and his question was able to be asked as well. So exciting news. I'm sure Josh will write about that, and we'll have that coming up. Also, our chamber did get the email about the disaster loan info. We had been approved for the advance and received that, and now we just got email last night, I think it came, about the disaster loan, the loan portion of it. So if you are a business that has applied for that and was approved, please go and check your email, see what the information is. You can consider if the loan is the right option for you. That's something our chamber has to consider. The rates are a certain rate, and it's really something to think about. And then, last but not least, before we get into our guests for today, the Business Brew is tomorrow at 9 a.m. So sign up. It's on the website or our social media. We hope to see everybody 9 a.m. Come in your pajamas, drink a good cup of coffee, bring your favorite mug. Tons of fun. What did you do this weekend?
This weekend, what did I do this weekend? Oh, I was up real early both mornings. Had to feed the horses at 5 a.m.
Oh, goodness.
And I don't know how it is at your house, Jennifer, but I cleaned the bathrooms. Michaela and I, thank the dear Lord, have our own bathrooms. I don't know what it's like with a teenager. I can't imagine your house with three of them, because teenage girls are so filthy. They're just dirty.
They are, and we only have one bathroom for the six of us in our house. Poor Marty.
How do you do it?
We have two sinks, and listen, it's less than 5 minutes in the bathroom for your shower. We actually took out the bathtub when we redid our bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Showers only, and you have a time limit. So I get it.
Oh, speaking of your bathroom, did you hang your picture?
I did.
Next time you show us a picture of it.
I know. I'll have to get Kathy on this week, and we'll talk about where I placed my picture and how we decided all of that. So Great. Today we have two guests on. They are actually from Servpro of Eastern Niagara County. And of course, when I do this, my phone rings. I'm going to bring Len Amato and Rihanna on. We practiced this ahead of time so we could try this out. As we started this, Rihanna got on and she said, "Wow, you guys are professional." I said, "You haven't seen anything yet." But Len and Rihanna, thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you on because everyone is starting to think about reopening. And now as we see tomorrow, phase one begins. And I know Servpro has been doing a lot of work lately to get businesses back up and ready to serve patrons, to serve customers, just to have their employees in a safe environment. So Len, tell me a little bit about Servpro and about the business and and what you're able to do for reopening.
Okay. Of course, in addition to fire and water remediation and mold, this COVID thing isn't really something we haven't cleaned up for before. Because when H1N1 came out and a few other viruses, we were called in a few times. Not like now. This is a whole different world where we all have a risk to do cleaning. We've been provided from Servpro good disinfectants, EPA registered disinfectants. We've been using. We've gotten, I think I'd say, large office / warehouses that we've cleaned. Specifically, though, the whole thing comes down to not so much just fogging, which a lot of people were doing in the beginning, is actually cleaning all touch points in a room, a door handle, doorknobs, computers, mouses, anything that anybody would normally touch. So there's much more to it than just walking in and getting fogging or spraying of any kind of antimicrobial disinfectant. Excuse me, not antimicrobial, but disinfectant. So there's a lot more to it too, though, because things that people never think of, we have to do today because of this virus. While we're doing all this, we're covered, we're in Tyvek suits and goggles and masks and all different kinds of things, which makes it a little bit harder to do the job. So it's laborious, and breathing with the N95s that we use, it wears you down. You guys from going and wearing them now just temporarily. I doing it for 8 hours on a local site somewhere. Even taking breaks, you get very tired from it.
Definitely. So what is and Rihanna's been joining us actually on Tuesdays and Thursdays for our networking, and she's been able to share a lot of information. What does Servpro use that's different than, let's say, any other company? Do you have something specific that you use when you're going into these residential or business locations?
Yeah. Luckily for us, Servpro is a large enough corporation where they have their own R&D. They've actually produced their own product. In addition to their own product, their product is called Servpro Oxide. We couldn't get for a little while because, of course, the demand when this all first happened was out of control. But we have additional stuff. We have something called a company that's it's called Vanquish. It works really well. It even states right on the label, it's known to kill the coronavirus, which is pretty amazing. One of the things you want to use is you want to clean things also. So, for example, if I have a light switch, you're not going to just go there and rub on the disinfectant. You have to, in order to disinfect something, you got to clean it first. So we try to use a product that does both cleaning and leaves the residue of disinfectant. Because a dirty surface, obviously, you're not going to really disinfect that the right way. So it's a bit of cleaning and disinfecting.
So when a business is getting to reopen, let's say we're starting week 10 actually this week. Wow. This is 10 weeks that we've been through this type of some businesses closing, some reopening. Let's say a business has had to shut its doors for a few weeks to maybe the 2 months that it's been going on. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things they should be thinking about when they're reopening? Not just let's just say the dust and the grime that's going on, but they've shut the doors and now they're ready to reopen. What are some of those things that you would look for? You mentioned, cleaning, light handles and things of that nature. What are some of the specialized things you would say to any business to make sure that they take care of?
Well, obviously, if there's some kind of kitchen facility, in the bathrooms should really be going over heavily, because people go into a bathroom, close the door. If they cough, I mean, a little bit different outside or even in a really large room. We don't want, even in a large room, somebody coughing in, but being in a 5x8 room for a bathroom, obviously that could cause a problem. So you got to think about confined spaces, smaller, tighter spaces. I just saw CDC was announcing, I think it was like 3 days ago, saying the virus doesn't work that well outside. Of course, if you come in contact with somebody and you're close to them, if they cough or sneeze or something like that, you possibly could be affected, but not compared to being in a small room. So, a lot of times we take things and we touch them without thinking, and touch our faces or mouth or our eyes. So I think we the last 10 weeks have started to think what we shouldn't do, what we shouldn't touch. That leads to the fact that we touch so many things during the day. You don't realize how many things you touch during the day until this all came about. Every time I touch something now, I've kind of, you got to put, some kind of antiseptic on my hand, or I got to go wash my hands again. And this is the problem with buildings. How many things can be touched, like in the offices you're in right now, and how many things have you guys touched today inside that office? So when we enter a building, to put this into perspective, we look at every single touch point. Anything that somebody touches, we don't have to worry about pretty much ceilings and looking at a ceiling or something like that. But you want to look, at every single thing involved. So when we walk in to do an estimate for somebody, we ask them what they expect of us and what they'd like us to do. And then we pass our knowledge and saying, we also would like to do this, because in order to be safe in the classes we've taken, this is what we found that, we should be cleaning. And once we cleaning all these touch points, we go in and fog the area. And it kind of spreads all that infected throughout the whole room. Kind of goes up into the air and down. And that's great, because it kind of gets in little nooks and crannies that we can necessarily get to. Also cleans the air if there's any of the virus in the air, because they say that sometimes a virus can hang in the air. I've heard so many different theories, but sometimes they say 1 hour, 3 hours. Well, if it is in the air and we do fog, that should be great additional way of getting rid of this virus.
Yeah, there's so many things we just don't even think about, as far as, what's in the air, what is on the surfaces. It's just so many things. I know that when Suzanne and I are in the office at different times, I'm in the office a few days a week and she is, but every time we leave, we have to wipe down those communal areas, the copy machine, our fax machine, which we still send faxes out, our postage machine, anything that we know that we're communally touching. It's one of those things that top of mind wouldn't have been there as much before, maybe a once a week wipe down, but now it's literally every single day. Those are things that we think about. I know that Rihanna also, she had spoken to us a bit over the past couple of weeks, some of the work that you've done, some of the volunteer work you've done for some of the organizations in the communities around Western New York. That is amazing. Tell us about some of those places that you were able to help out.
Well, I think, that first of all, it's the least we can do, because they are putting themselves on the line daily. I really feel heavy heart for, first responders, nurses, and firemen and policemen. I was watching a few things when arresting people. I've seen people cough in policemen's faces, and I don't know. This is just a strange world we're living in right now. But getting back to it, giving to the fire department and the police departments, oh my God, it's such a good feeling when we pull away from there and leave. And then Rihanna could, talk to you about that too. You've helped. It's a peace of mind for them, because even myself, when I come into my office, I think, well, what do I got to wipe down before I touch anything? Well, for them, you're saying with communal workers, they don't know what the last person inside that truck or the cab or the car, touched. So, if we can go in there and clean them for them, at least if it's a peace of mind, that's what we're trying to give them, because they have enough to think about on their way to a call to a fire or to, somebody that's injured or whatever they're going to be en route to.
Yeah, Definitely. Well, we appreciate all of the work that you have done. I know that, you know, you have been a member of our chamber for a while, and we are so glad to have you in our community and doing the work that you do. So I have on our screen here is the website that people can go to find more information, servproeasterniagaracounty.com. And we also have, I hope I have the right number here. I'm pretty sure I do. I think I showed it to Rihanna ahead of time. So they can also call you. What's the best way to go online and find out all the services? What are the other services that you offer besides, you know, right now just getting businesses ready to open?
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes. Water damage is our number one thing that we do on a day-to-day basis. I think that would probably be followed by fire damages. Sometimes it's just smoke. I mean, I've actually overcooked things in the house, and all of a sudden you get all the smoke coming out of the oven or the microwave. Usually I always burn popcorn, of course. Anyway, so we could deodorize a home. We could clean, if it's just smoke, we could clean the smoke damage, which happens a real lot. People overcook things or step out. Oh, go outside for a few minutes and forget they have a roast in the oven. Anyway, another thing too is we do air duct cleaning. We do carpet cleaning. We do upholstery cleaning. So there's many things that we do, and sometimes you get the combination. Sometimes, and we've had this many times, there's a fire. Well, how do you put a fire out? You add water to it. So now, you know, we get in there and you're drying out the house and you're cleaning the house. Getting it back to normal again, because you have a double damage of fire and water damage because the firemen put the fire out. Those usually take us maybe a week or more to take care of. We do get a lot of mold work. We do a lot of mold remediation. That's a tough job because you have to wear the same Tyvek suits and, you know, masks that you have to wear for this COVID cleanup. So I guess that's a little bit of practice right there.
Definitely. Well, thank you, Rihanna and Len, for joining our show today, the Roam the Region show. This is episode 13. Is it 13?
Wow,
I think I lost track. So I think it's 13. I'm hoping I got that right. Yeah, it is. So you're lucky 13.
There you go.
Lucky 13. So we appreciate having you on. And again, call them for information, 694-7776. And then also, you know, Rihanna's joined in every Tuesday and Thursday for us. And I know that Rihanna's been able to make some great connections through our membership. So we appreciate that you continue to do that. Len, you're going to have to jump in one of these nights.
Yeah.
Thursday night. That's where the party is.
Well, I did one. Me and Rihanna did one the other night for the home inspectors. So I've done a few of them. Yeah, I mean, it's usually when I get family members call me every night. Hey, Len, what should I do about this? Or hey, Len, what should I do about that? Either the water damage, the COVID thing. The question at night once they know I'm home from work. So yeah, we'll have to do one with you guys, and maybe we can do that soon.
Yes, definitely. So I'm sorry, I had to mute Suzanne for a little bit, just so you know, some of those noises in the background. She's got some dogs in the background.
You can hear again?
I could hear them. That's all right. Every once in a while, I'd unmute you or mute you and think, well, if she starts talking, I'll
Sister treats her dog like he's human, so he can't be alone. It's ridiculous.
Oh, goodness. Well, join us tomorrow. We don't know who's coming on yet tomorrow. That's how we roll tomorrow. But actually, tomorrow we'll be able to talk about the opening of phase 2 since it does happen. So, yay, I know.
Yay.
One step closer to Suzanne and I getting our hair done. That's for sure. Thank you, Len and Rihanna, for joining us.
Guys.
We'll see everyone tomorrow.
Thank